Hello and welcome to the NLSEC MTAS Screencast-O-Matic Extravaganza. Today I'm just going to be sharing with you a little bit of information about making MTAS decisions and then also sharing some resources that you can use with those students. So we have developed a little memo here that summarizes some of MDE's guidance and then some of our own guidance as well. So as you can see, we've got a little introductory paragraph with a link to the MDE guidance. And if I were to click on that link, it would look like this. Let me scroll up to the top so you can see. And it's a handy handout that's a real easy read that reminds us what grades and subjects students are tested in, and then gives us some of this information to help make those MTAS decisions. And so here are those eligibility requirements. There's about 5 of them. And then they've also put it into this graphic form as well. So it's the same information on both pages, just depends on your learning style. But then I'll just quickly summarize that my learning style likes the graphics, so I'm going to go down here. First of all, we always think about MCAs first, least restrictive. Can we think about the MCAs? And if they're if their cognitive ability precludes their participation, we need to ask ourselves, are they receiving instruction linked to the general curriculum or to core? And if the answer is no, we're being guided back to really think about that, whether or not we're looking at MCAs or MTAS. We just need to have that as our basis for giving kids access to the gen ed curriculum. So then another thing we ask ourselves is their cognitive functioning significantly below expectations? And does that impact multiple environments? And do they require intensive instruction and supports in order to attain skills, maintain, and generalize? And so if a student is able to meet all those, then they may be a candidate for the MTAS. And they also, in that memo and in our memo, remind us, however, that we don't make decisions based on disability category, based on placement, based on participation in a separate curriculum or program, or just because we think that they're going to be low, you know, other cultural or language considerations. And then, of course, you know, we don't want our worry about what their score might be to influence our decision. So then keeping in mind that we need to talk about that annually with regards to all subject areas, and if you've had an IEP in the fall and spring testing time comes along, really think about, has anything changed for the student? And then I'm just going to highlight this one too. Like sometimes you may have heard recently that there's a cap on the number of students that can take the MTAS, but let me just say out loud that it's better that students participate in one or the other versus not participating at all. I know sometimes it's a temptation to think that maybe they shouldn't participate at all, but that really counts against a district because then that counts as a did not meet. And so we would be better off having maybe some attempts where we could get a partial meet versus a did not meet. So then our last section here on our handout talks about, my mouse is hyper scrolling, work with your students on the MCAs and the MTAS. And we've got, I'm going to show you some resources here in 2 seconds that you can use to do that. And then when you're doing that, you know, it's helpful to, as you're doing that, teach strategies to help students understand that it's a big accomplishment to participate in something like this, and that we need to work on things that are difficult in life and overcome them. Also, just that practice on how the test format looks and feels is helpful so that kids aren't taken aback by that. And make it fun. give them breaks and rewards, things like that. So, on the home stretch here, folks, I just want to show you this website. And you can use this handout to link to it. I'm just going to go to reading. You'll see these test specifications. There's one for the MCAs and one for the MTAS. And if you were to click on that, I'm going to drag it over so you don't have to see the whole download process, you would get this. And it just describes the test a little bit more. But what I wanted to show you, I think, is on page 12. Let me see. Yeah. So then they get into each grade and the skill domains that they are looking at. And what I like about this is they've got extended standard specifications. And what that means is it's in plain English. So for this one, the tasks will assess a student's ability to identify elements of character. And they will not be required to define literary terms. So that's helpful to know. And so then this is helpful to read too. So I might know that I need to teach my kids about character traits and emotions, about character behaviors, about how characters compare and contrast. So in other words, this can help you break that down a little bit. So I wanted to share that with you. And then this other one is a great site for a lot of different tests. But then you can see here too, we've got some resources for teachers about frequently asked questions, about the item samples. And let me just go down here again to the MTAS. And I just wanted to share with you this. So let's say we're working at, so there's something for every grade in here, or every grade, you know, that we're looking at the MTAS. So then they've got some nice item samples in here. And my screencast is getting a little long, but I'm just going to just share with you. So it's basically a lesson plan for going through and practicing and teaching the tasks that will be looked at on the MTAS. And so they give you the scripts and the materials. As I scroll down here, you will see the visuals that go with that. This is not supposed to be something you just throw at the students and ask them to practice. It is supposed to be a teaching tool that MDE would like you to use. So I'm hoping that you will find that resource valuable. This concludes my screencast-o-matic. I went to 8 minutes. Nuts! I hope you enjoyed.